right there that you see. That man right there. People have been telling me for years how Karl-Anthony Towns is such a great center, great skill center. He's most efficient, most elite 3-point shooting big we've ever seen, and I agree. This wonderfully skilled big, and I agree. But one thing I've always known is that he was a fucking loser. One thing I've always known, Cat's not him. Cat's never been him. Cat's never been it. I've known that since day one. And coming into last season, the Timberwolves had the number one pick, and I thought they fucked up by taking Anthony Edwards. Boy, did they prove me wrong. I thought they fucked up because they should have got LaMelo Ball, got a compliment Cat when the Timberwolves were thinking 5 steps ahead. They weren't trying to compliment Cat. They were trying to get another franchise player. And in 2 years, what Anthony Edwards has done to the landscape of this Timberwolves team is unprecedented and unmatched by anything Cat's ever done. What Anthony Edwards is doing right now, you know who he reminds me of? You know who Anthony Edwards really reminds me of? He, honest to God, he reminds me of Jimmy Butler. But I guarantee you he has parents and he's an actual tough guy. So it's crazy. It's crazy and it's the craziest thing. Anthony Edwards is Jimmy Butler, but better. Anthony Edwards is Jimmy Butler with parents in hands. He's an actual tough guy. He's not a fake tough guy. He's a real tough guy. He's a real Atlanta nigga. He's a real Atlanta nigga. On the block with DC in them. That's Anthony Edwards. That's big AE. Jimmy Butler, he was great enough to go there, take him to the playoffs. Cool, whatever. You didn't change the culture. You just carried. AE is carrying this team and also changing a losing culture in his second year. Being what, 21? This nigga is just now able to drink liquor legally, which I probably listen. He's from the block. He probably did whatever, but we ain't gonna talk about that right now. Anthony Edwards over Jimmy Butler. Anthony Edwards over a lot of niggas you guys like. Let's be honest. You put Anthony Edwards on a lot of teams, he's changing that culture. He's doing what LaMelo's doing. He's doing what Luka's doing. He's doing what what Trae Young's doing. He's changing these loser-ass franchises hopes and dreams. He's giving hope. He's changing cultures. He's changing mindsets of franchises himself. It's crazy. It's funny because y'all all were so quick to hop on and make your Laker spaces. Y'all all were so quick to pack us up. Well, this is the first pack because you know the Clippers aren't. I don't believe. Are they knocked out the play-in? Are they knocked out the playoff stage? Was this 6 and 7? Or, well, 7 and 8. Or
This was 7 and 8. So now the Clippers are about to play whoever win between Pelicans and Spurs.
And God forbid they fucking lose to the Pelicans or Spurs. Because 2-3 weeks ago, when Reggie Jackson was skipped to my Lou up the court, when Reggie Jackson was doing hoopla to Russell Westbrook, y'all all loved him. When this team was doing everything they could without their stars, y'all all loved them. And they get MVP G back, and they letting Pat Bev cry on the court because he won a fucking playing game. Like, this is insane. This is ridiculous. The Timberwolves think they just won a fucking championship, and it's because the Clippers. The fucking flippers. Every time.
It's something about flipper pack that always deliver. Like, mid-Laker blow up. This is a playing game. This ain't like they lost the whole series. It's just a playing game. But for some reason, it feel like we just feel them fucking sold the championship, bro. Flipper pack is S tier. I don't care. You know what? Fuck it. Kawhi sucked too. What now? Like this shit is great, bro. I'm in a good mood. I'm in a genuinely good mood that AE handled his motherfucking business. D-Lo proved me wrong, handled his business. I ain't happy Cat sold, but it's funny Cat sold. So it is what it is.
Oh, I'm 100% happy Cat sold because it further pushes my agenda of how there are so many other bigs you could have on your team if you're trying to win. I get it. If we're talking about the genuine skill of these players, yes, Cat is a very skilled player. Cat's a very, very gifted basketball player. But sadly, being a loser comes with a lot of people that's talented. There's a lot of talented losers. So get you a big that works hard. Get you a big that actually wins some games. Get you an actual Embiid, a Jokic. Hell, even Baguette Biyombo, Rudy Gobert. Those guys are all better for your team as a big man option than Kitty Cat Towns. The man who, if you scroll up and just look, isn't even proud of his team for competing without him. You know what's crazy? This game was over. You know one player I didn't see crying, celebrating, yelling, standing on stanchions? Cat. He probably was in the back trying to load up his Twitch chat to explain to them how he fouled out.
Nah, he know Twitch nowadays. He know when he getting that stream. Not gonna lie, he know
Like
that
he.
shit.
Oh wait, no,
He
I
know
lied.
that
I
shit,
lied. He
bro.
hugged this girl. It just showed that he hugged this
Nah,
girl
nah,
before he
I'm
went in the
hip.
locker
I'm
room.
hip.
Yeah, I just seen it. Still, you're celebrating with your girl. Where your teammates at?
Nah, but like for those that are wondering why, honestly, myself even, I'm not gonna lie, or Dom is pushing the agenda that, hey, bro, he know what's going on. When he immediately fouled out, his first reaction to the team was going on like a 4-6-0 run. Bro was just sitting there with the straight face and shock. Then it comes after the break. A hits another three, arms folded and shit. I'm not saying he had no hope or like praise for his team, but that boy knew what the narrative was gonna be. And I ain't gonna lie, my man Don running with
Listen. Sage was there when it happened. Who called it out? I called it. I'm like, look at Cat's face. Look at Cat. He's not happy for his team. You wanna know why? Cause Cat knows there's niggas like me out here.
yeah.
There's niggas like me that don't miss anything. There's niggas like me that crosses every I, dots every I, and cross every T. I see the little shit, Cat. I seen how when you went out with 5 fouls, your team wasn't in a bad place. They were able to hold on. I seen when you were playing like trash the whole game. Anyone is gonna come up here and tell me, "Oh my God, Cat had to play different because he had blah blah blah." He was playing like shit regardless of the fouls. He played like trash. When he got pulled with 5 fouls, he had one less minute than everybody else in the starting lineup. When he had 5 fouls, he comes back in with 6 fouls. AE checks in, he fouls out. AE single handedly pushes on. But I'm gonna let y'all come up. I'm gonna bring some of y'all up, give y'all opinions, give y'all takes. Listen, I just need y'all to understand one more time.
Yeah, I want someone to try to defend the Clippers.
I need y'all
I'm
to
about to be
understand
back in
one
my
more time.
prime.
I need y'all one more time to understand before I bring y'all up. Anthony Edwards is the guy Jimmy Butler wishes he was, because again, he's a real tough guy and he actually has parents.
Okay, I'm gonna be for that one.
Karl-Anthony Towns is not him, never was him, never will be him. And if there's one thing that is certain in his life, it's death, taxes, and the Clipper pack being the most consistent high you can get on this planet. Because no matter what year it is, no matter what roster it is, no matter what era of the Clippers it is, the Clippers gonna Clipper every single time. Man, say, don't
This
that
shit is
feel great?
great. This shit
It
is
feels
great.
great. It feels great. It
This
feels
shit
great.
is
Let
great.
me bring
I
you
ain't
up. Let
gonna
me bring
lie.
you up.
I'm in a great mood. Let him up, bro. I'm in a great mood, bro. Fucking flipper pack, bro. This is nice. It's nice. Niggas lost to AE for
Nah,
playoff
nah,
P.
that Clipper
Oh
pack
man.
go crazy. That Clipper
Anthony
pack
Edwards
go
is
Ant is
that
crazy.
fucking
him.
guy.
Ant is
Anthony Edwards
him.
is him.
Bro,
He
my
is
agendas are
him.
colliding right now.
D'Lo
Cause
is him.
niggas know I love
D'Angelo
Ant, but
Russell
niggas know
is
I love
him.
Cat too, bro. This shit is crazy. I can't do it,
Eli,
bro. This
Eli,
hurts.
are you
Niggas
are you
know
sure?
niggas know I've been on the Ant train since the nigga. I was like, bro, y'all niggas really sucking LaMelo dick, bro. Like Ant potential right there with him. And then niggas was like, nah. Look at his true shooting percentage. Look at his true shooting percentage. And niggas know I love Cat, bro. This is bro, this sucks. And then Damo
Eli.
using it as an excuse to hate on the best player on my team. Like, you just trying to put me through hell, Damo. Like, genuinely, I
No,
don't
he's
like you,
spitting.
bro.
Using what is
He's
it? Using
spitting.
what as an excuse? What am I using? What excuse?
This shit is crazy, bro.
Hey, if Cat doesn't perform in this playoffs, what's the next move for Memphis?
For
Oh, the,
Memphis?
For
Not Memphis.
Minnesota, LeBron.
For
Wait, what?
Minnesota,
For
my
for
fault, my
Minnesota?
fault,
Minnesota.
my bad, my
Oh,
bad.
it's obvious. It's obvious. I don't think y'all understand.
Build
They
around
they
That's
AE.
a layup.
have
Yeah, you
they,
gave him a layup.
they have their franchise guy. He just won them this playing game, which gave them a nice little seed and gave them a nice little
If
comfort.
he plays
It's
good,
Anthony
is this ever
Edwards.
mentioned though? Like, do
It
niggas ever talk about this if he plays good in the playoffs?
if who Cat?
Yeah, like genuinely.
Well, Hey Eli, I'm niggas because I'm gonna talk about it.
Wait, wasn't that the issue with Cat
about
before?
a non-do or die play-in? Because even if they lose, they
It's not
still.
about. It's the principle, Eli. It's the
Okay.
principle.
Bro, yeah, I'm about to say let's not play stupid. Cat already had a narrative that he couldn't make the playoffs going for a while. Then when he makes it, gets done dirty by Clint Capella. We all know that. Then go
Yeah, he
through
played like
another
shit.
set of purgatory where he can't make the postseason, and now the first lick of somewhat playoff basketball. I understand it's a play-in, so fair enough. But it's the first time we see him, he fouls out and is outdone by Anthony Edwards, the new face on the block, and D'Angelo Russell, the guy that was supposed to be his crime partner through this shit. He's supposed to be the third guy. He's just built different. Let's just recognize that now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yo,
But
why was
I'm
Pat
just,
Bev crying?
I'm saying in a world where they all play well in the playoffs.
I mean,
I
of
don't
course,
think
if they
niggas.
played well, nobody gonna talk about that.
Yeah. That's what I was saying though, because like I asked somebody else and they was like, nah, niggas gonna be on their ass or whatever, and it's like, bro, niggas do not talk about shitty performances that happened in the play-in last game
Well,
unless
listen.
it's
Well, listen. Well, listen.
Damar.
Guess what? Guess what? It's a new era. This is the second edition of the play-in, which is the first edition of pure play-in slander. All right, buddy.
Yo,
Let me tell you something right now. Whoever asks what's Minnesota's option if Cat inevitably sells like he's gonna do because he's not that guy, it's obvious. You trade him. You trade Cat. You should have been traded Cat because Cat's not that. He doesn't fit your brand. He doesn't fit what you're trying to do. He doesn't
What
fit
would you trade him
the
for,
real
Damo?
dog of your team. Hey, at this point, no, I'm not gonna troll and say a fax machine. That's safe. I save that for
No,
Russ. I'm not gonna say a fax machine.
he was gonna say give him
But
the fucking
but I'm not gonna lie. I would say the
give him
same.
the Corver
I
treatment.
would
Both
say
them
no, no,
niggas
no,
is
no, no,
corner
no cap.
shooters.
I
That's
would
what they
say
was
the
looking to
same
say.
package. I was I don't know if niggas heard me in a space before, but the same package I was saying the Lakers should probably push for with the Grizzlies. That'd be the first thing I look for. Look to send them to the Grizzlies. You can get
so
a couple good young pieces back. You can get and you can probably get Triple J.
but
Triple
if
J
the
is a couple
Grizzlies
good
are
pieces.
hell no, they ain't trading no Triple J. I ain't
They're
gonna
not giving
lie.
up
For
Triple
Cat.
J.
They need it for that defense.
Nah,
Bro,
they
they
not. They
Triple
not.
if
J
they
They's
defense.
not
just
doing
do
that.
Cat
They's not doing
dirty,
that.
If triple,
Oh my
let's
god,
say
they not
Triple
doing
J.
that.
if they
Hold on.
just if
If
oh go ahead.
I'm just gonna say if Triple J and Cat both underperform this playoffs, you don't think the Grizzlies would be like, is obvious Jai is the number
If
one guy?
Triple J and
Let's find
Cat
him a
both
new number two.
underperform, that would be
Triple
kind of
J is
weird.
just gonna. Triple J is their
Triple J,
defense.
With the
Triple J
leaps he's
So
made
underperforming would
defensively,
be him
no.
letting Cat go off,
Well,
would it
I'm
not?
sorry. I'm
yeah,
sorry. Y'all tell me a team that would be good for Cat.
I'm
Then
just
my
saying.
bad.
Oh,
Is that not true, Damo? Triple J
I was
playing
just
like
thinking of
shit
a
would be
good
Cat
trade
going off.
package for Cat. Unless you want me to say go to the Pacers for
I mean,
fucking
I did say the
Brogdon and fucking
Celtics,
Buddy
but
Hill.
I don't
Like, I
know
don't.
Yeah, everybody loves saying everybody go to the Pacers. It's crazy.
because Robert
Yeah,
Williams.
so I don't. I was just
It's
trying to
because
be
I
niggas
different,
see
be
that
nigga.
as well.
sucking
I
Miles
wouldn't
Turner
doubt
Damo,
it.
opinion.
Damo, trade him to the Lakers for what? Nah, I'll stop.
Stop,
Damo.
stop. The
I don't
Celtics
want this
practice.
nigga.
Bro, why do you bring Westbrook into everything?
It
Probably
was
the
literally a
Celtics. It's
troll.
okay.
I'm trolling, bro.
It was
Nigga,
a bad
I
troll,
don't want
nigga.
Cat
Bad
on the
troll.
Lakers, bro. Nigga, AD
Nah,
doesn't
yeah,
want to
y'all
play the
already going
five.
80 for being soft and injured. The last thing I want is another guy with the soft moniker, and then LeBron not playing defense and having the soft moniker. That's just a bad defense again.
It
Not
felt
gonna lie
like
to you.
the second half, like unironically, like that nigga Cat was like most niggas when they get in foul trouble and they playing like shit, they start playing timid. That nigga Cat was like, nah, fuck it. I got fucking 4 fouls in one half. Nah, nigga, I gotta go harder. Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? The nigga like the nigga is such. I love this nigga, but he's so fucking emotional. Nigga literally pushes a nigga. Where the foul? Where the foul? Fucking screaming at the ref. Like, you can't be this fucking dumb, nigga. Like, word. Like, I hate this nigga, bro. I genuinely hate this nigga. And I love him at the
That's
same
tough.
time, bro.
Let's go to some of these. It's some hands up here. Let's go to some of these hands. Niggas got their hands up.
There's no
Yeah.
way we're gonna let a nigga with the name
Donahue.
Wiggy 2007 speak.
Donahue, is that how you say it? I don't know.
I just wanted to say Reggie Jackson just lost the Clippers that game, and AD been the in my opinion, I thought it was very clear AD was gonna end up being their best player, and they were gonna have to move off of Cat soon because I just knew he's not a winning player.
You sound like an enlightened individual. I'll give you that. I don't think it wasn't real obvious. I would say. I mean, it was obvious to smart people, but there was still other people that was still clinging on to this hope of what Cat could be, and what the potential Cat had when he got drafted. Still, when it's obvious he's a great offensive player, he's not a winner. You know, he's center Westbrook. You know, tall James Harden with no beard. You know, he's a loser. But yeah, that's just how I view him.
If they can,
Great player.
if they can pull it to like get it all like to come together, like him, D'Lo, and what's the name? Like if it results in like top five seeding, then I would say like keep them together. But at this point, Cat getting a little bit old. Like he's like 20. So he's like 26 now.
When did 26 become old? What the fuck?
He's not
Not
old,
that
but like
older.
I'm talking about the timeline of
You're
all
not
like the
young.
good teams now. All the timelines for like the good
He's
teams
pretty
now. It
fucking
sounds like they
young,
need
my
to just
nigga.
move on from him.
Compared to a 21-year-old Anthony Edwards, who's the best player on the team.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
And unless they're showing signs of really contending with this core, which I mean they're not really contending. It's just funny to beat the fucking Flippers in the play-in. You move off of Cat to probably get younger assets to build around AE. You also probably gonna end up moving off of D'Lo to get more guys that are probably two-way, defensive centric, or if you can get an offensive talent, cool. But there's a new mentality going on in the Timberwolves. Cat doesn't fit it. Like he tried this year. Oh, you see, man, Eli can't take that Cat conversations. I feel it. He heard the slander of Cat and decided to run. But yeah, shit, I forgot what the fuck I was saying. Let me just move on.
Yo, why was they celebrating like they just won a championship, bro? Why
Because
was
it's the
Pat Bev
fucking
crying, bro?
Timberwolves. Because
Bro, why
Pat
was
Bev,
they doing that,
because
bro?
Pat Bev ain't shit and ain't never been shit. So this meant a lot to him.
Yo, Cat was
Sir
kissing Jordan Woods
Darko,
I mean,
Sir
making the
Darko.
postseason does mean a
Yo,
lot to this franchise, regardless. Though, let's not like revise what the bar was. The bar for this team was they low key could make the play-in and anything could happen, and they low key made the play-in and anything could happen. I ain't mad at them for
They low key made the
celebrating
play-in
like that.
and the flippers happened. I mean, I'm not mad at them for celebrating. I am mad at Pat Bev for crying like this nigga just
Nah,
shot
he
his
was
wife.
dead
That's
crying.
wild.
He was dead crying.
I don't know about that, Sage. Like
That was the
Sage,
team
listen,
that gave up on him.
I
I ain't
I
crying
get
too.
Yeah, I
I
don't
being
give
said
a
Pat
fuck how
Bev shed
much.
I
tears
get
different.
being happy, but you didn't knock the Clippers out the playoffs. You just knocked them into the loser
That's what
bracket
I'm
to play
saying.
in,
That's what
bro.
I'm
That's
saying.
fair.
Who?
Who the fuck?
Yo,
Bro, who
Your
Mike?
mic is
Who's
going
getting a
crazy.
haircut, bro?
Like the
Man,
whole
your mic sound like
thing.
you're getting a haircut, bro. But let's go to some of these hands. Nigga with the black fucking Abby, Sir Darko, whatever.
yo. So I've been heavy on Cat is not that guy. I've been having debates about him or Bam for like a year or so now. People think this game was bad. Wait until this nigga getting choked out by Steven Adams and Triple J in 7
Choked out.
games.
Hey, yo.
Yo, he ain't. You seen that picture of him trying to move Boogie? It's gonna happen with Steven Adams. Just
He
work.
scored on that play,
Steven.
by the way.
Okay. How
He
you think he
did.
gonna play good against Memphis?
Yo, Eli, your man shot
I'm
3 of
just
11
saying,
and he had
bro. Niggas
11
always
points,
talking
bro.
about
Your
that play.
man's
The
at
nigga
was
literally
3 of 11.
scored, bro. Niggas haters, bro.
He
We
went
seen
3
him in
for
the
11,
playoffs.
bro.
He got smacked up by Clint Capella.
And he got smacked by Jimmy.
Yeah, Adams is elite, bro.
Okay, whatever. Elite enforcer. But yeah, that series going 4 games. They getting swept. But it's gonna be fun to see Ant versus Ja for 4 games.
That is gonna be fun. I ain't gonna lie. Next we're gonna go to
What's this
the
nigga's
Liddy.
ad? I just want to add him so when they win a game, I can
Um,
brag in his fucking face.
I just wanted to add that I think Cat is pretty weak and that he doesn't really contribute much. I'm really happy about this win, though. I'm pretty proud of what the team was able to accomplish, but I don't think Cat is the move moving forward, especially with the young core that they mainly have. And I really feel like Ant is the way, but I don't want to blow things too out of proportion and call Towns too bad or very lackluster. I feel like we should give him a little bit more time and see what he does with that. But
What do you
I do
little more
agree
time to do
with.
what? What do we give him time for?
I'm not saying like a lot of time or just like a lot of time in general. I feel like we should see what he does now and then judge him after that. And I feel like we should just see how this plays out.
See, but I'm asking, what are we giving him time for though? Like we're giving him time to show what that he's not a loser because time's passed on that he is a loser.
I mean, it's true he is a loser, and I'm not gonna debate on that because I feel like that's a factual statement. I just feel like time to prove that he can perform in a playoff atmosphere when the pressure's really on him and he has to make the move to see if they advance or at least look like a contending team.
But even if he does have a good playoff series, Cat's not going to play like the player you need him to be if you're trying to contend and win contend and win. My whole thought process is what a team. When I'm saying a guy's a loser or if a guy's a winner, it's strictly on the basis of what are you looking for in a player, or what is a player providing in terms of winning and losing playoff games, winning a championship, losing a championship. Cat's shown nothing in his game to show that to say that, oh yeah, if you want to win a championship, you need this guy Cat on your team. You need a guy like Cat on your team. Because defensively, even at his best, it's pathetic. It's actually pathetic for your defense. It's not helping. He's a four that you need to. He's a four that has to play the five. It reminds me a lot of Al Horford back in the late 2000s and them 2010s with the Hawks. He's literally a guy that you should put at the four, but he ends up playing the five because of the franchise that he's on and kind of his physique and his build and just the team that he's on, honestly. So giving him more time and wasting these years while Anthony Edwards is on his rookie deal to really try to revamp and retool this team. So if Anthony Edwards is a legit superstar, he can attract other younger guys that's coming into the league or other guys that are disgruntled with teams to Minnesota to play with him instead of keeping Cat there, soaking up Cap and trying to build around them when Cat's always going to be a liability with your team. You're going to find yourself in situations where it'll be like tonight. Your team is better off with Cat sitting down because you're able to lock in defensively. They won this game because they were able to get a lot of good stops. They got a lot of good defense, especially when Cat sat. They were able to really lock in and play defense. D'Lo too.
I
When
gave
D'Lo and Cat weren't there, they were able to play some great defense. And I'm not saying D'Lo's this terrible defender. He's honestly been better this year, but still, as a team, their team defense was just a lot better, and a lot of that had to do with the fact that there was no Cat on the court.
I can't even disagree with that. You made very solid points, and I'm not even mad at the points you made. I believe most of them, if not all of them, are true, and I do believe Cat is better when, or the team is better when Cat is not around, and I do feel like D'Lo did have a lackluster season, and as a D'Lo fan, it hurts me to say that. I feel like his season was very lackluster, but was able to pull it out, and I do believe that Anthony Edwards is the future. I'm not saying Minnesota should give him time. I just feel like maybe another organization should give him time. Not even as the number one guy, but like as a number 2, 3, or even 4 guy.
That's fair. I mean, as a four is
Yeah,
crazy.
nobody
But
ruling Cash me
2
off
or
the
3.
bench.
What
Yeah.
what the fuck are we doing, bro? Yeah, this shit is crazy, bro. I don't think he was.
All right. Well, this isn't the Eli show. I'm not here to hear Eli sit here and do what Eli does.
Nah,
We're here
that's
for Eli.
crazy. Nah, that's crazy.
But the Legend of Winning,
Yeah,
aka
about to say, go
Low,
ahead, Lo.
Big Marcel, your hand was up, my brother. How are
Oh,
you doing?
Appreciate I'm doing good, bro. But that was an amazing game.
Yeah,
Though,
I'm not gonna lie,
this year,
Adama,
bro.
you on it, bro. You're on.
Crazy,
That
crazy.
no, that was it. Yo. That game was fucking amazing, yo. But because I don't, we can. It's cool to slander them niggas, especially the Clippers. I don't know what the fuck going on with the Clippers. Really, they led by Paul George, and that's kind of tough. But because Paul George didn't, yeah, bro, that's tough, bro. He was missing a lot of shots early on. I know he
yeah,
kind of
he
like
made the
picked it back
late
up.
ones to make that box score look a little
Yeah,
better. I ain't gonna
yeah,
lie.
he made the ones that make it a little better down the stretch, but I don't know, but I will say this: I don't. The criticism towards Cat is kind of hard in a game where it was clear that they were solely scheming against Cat and they were forcing Edwards and D'Lo to like beat them, and it's just the fact that they actually stepped them and did it. So I want to just give credit to them too, because like, bro, I was not expecting. Like, bro, they both came out and gave them fucking 30, like each. Basically, they both gave 30 each, and they both did it efficiently, and they both did it in ways where like it collapsed the defense and forced them to really make tough decisions as the Clippers. The thing that I will be critical on Towns is that he's at a stage. The thing that really I'll say this: the thing that bothers me a bit about Towns is that he's at a stage of his career where some of the growing pains that we would see from a like a star caliber player of his stature should have already gone through it, and because he's been like missing in action in the playoffs for so long, he's going to have to like deal with teams sending double teams towards him and trying to scheme against him, and he just hasn't had the reps to actually adjust accordingly. Same thing with Damian Lillard not too long ago when he was getting the role of being the star caliber player after LaMarcus Aldridge left, and then when the Pelicans start sending double teams to him, it's something that every other star in the NBA, especially guards, have already dealt with: Harden, Curry, et cetera, et cetera. But he just didn't know how to deal with it in that moment, so he just looked really bad when he was underperforming. That does concern me with Towns because, bro, that nigga's about to go in a series against the fucking Grizzlies with fucking Steven Adams and Triple J. Bro, I don't know what that nigga's about to do, bro. That shit kind of scary. But if that's the production, like 30-point games, like if that's the production we can get out of D'Lo and Ant, bro, I don't know, bro. That team looks like much better than I think that people probably expect. I'm not gonna go as far as saying it's gonna be upset in the first round, but it might end up being a little bit closer than expected. And also, I mean, even though we be fucking memeing it up with this nigga Pat Bev, bro, that nigga's definitely that nigga got them. He got them thinking way different. He changed the whole mentality in there, bro. They fucking gassed. Them niggas is boost. Them niggas is.
Yeah.
It makes me throw up to say it, but A and
No,
Pat
save your
kind
throw
of.
up. Save your throw up because Pat had. I'm not gonna say Pat had nothing to do with it, but this shit started last year with Ant. If you
85%
look,
A.
if
I
you
agree,
look at
but
the landscape,
15 is definitely
if
Pat.
you listen, I understand a lot of people in here. Y'all not basketball fans. Y'all like your favorite teams and your favorite players. All right, real basketball fans that watched the Timberwolves play last year, you seen it was a shift in the mentality of a lot of like aura in the Timberwolves. The same way it was with the Hawks when Trey got there, Luka with the Mavericks, LaMelo with the Hornets. Obviously, those teams weren't winning, but it was something about those guys that when they played, it was like, yo, shit's different. Like these niggas look different. They look like a piece or two away from being something totally different. Definitely something different what we're used to seeing. We seen Cat play with Levine and Wiggins, and we had hope, but we never seen it. We seen it a little bit of it when Jimmy got there, but Jimmy's a dog, so obviously shit changed a little bit. They got more competitive, but still, Jimmy was a dog running with a cat at center. Like he got bitched. It happened. He got bitched by
But
Clint Capella.
I
He
think
got
that
bitched.
I think the
Go ahead.
difference though, and it's not. I understand what you're saying because I agree that I think Edwards didn't necessarily need that push because Edwards is like he's Edwards. But the thing that separates like a player like Pat Bev or Draymond from them other quote unquote dogs is that bro they're playing on their role isn't going to be as significant as a Jimmy Butler, for example. So when Butler's trying to get the dog out of you, it's like he's trying to get the dog out of you, but also you need to accept the fact that he's also going to attempt like 20 to 25 shots a game. But when it comes to Pat Bev and Draymond, like they putting the battery in their back, and then is also saying like, bro, I'm putting the battery in their back because nigga, you gonna have to show up. So the same thing with like how Wiggins is over there now, and then Draymond putting the battery in that nigga back. He's like, bro, I'm putting the battery in your back because I know I'm gonna pass you the ball, and you're gonna have to step up. So I think that's the difference where it may be a little bit more receptive when non dominant scoring threats are the quote unquote alphas because it can be a bit more it can be received better when I'm putting a battery in your back and I'm also going to give you the ball to build your confidence even more rather than me just trying to put the battery in your back and you still trying to make adjustments to me. And I'm not saying I think that's just the difference. But I agree though. Edwards in this organization he's definitely changed a lot of things. Like without a doubt, like you can feel it. Like you can just look at them and say, like, oh, they actions. A lot of people care, and to also be fair to them, there's a lot more new faces in that
That's
organization.
a fact.
Yeah, over the past 2 or 3 years, and it was in the years prior to, because I think they needed to get a lot of those faces out of there and just
Their
revamp the
general
entire
manager is
roster.
really good.
Yeah, I think the management did a really good job in revamping the entire roster. D'Lo has experience as well. D'Lo's and to be fair to D'Lo as well, he's another one who was very active in trying to be a leader with the Brooklyn Nets, so he has proven that. And I think getting those type of people in positions to play pivotal roles on your team can make the adjustments of a Towns being a little bit more aggressive than what he normally was, and other players being a little bit more confident. But yeah, I just think, bro, this team is that passion can be contagious in good ways. I'm fearful of what Towns looks like against another defensive unit that has the personnel to kind of match up with him really well.
So
I
let me
think.
ask you this:
Oh,
if Cat has a bad playoff performance, What do you think the move is for the Timberwolves? You keep him or you go all in on Edwards?
I don't think you trade him because Towns provides something that you're really just not going to be able to find too often, unless you're going to get somebody who's. Because I agree with you with the Al Horford take. Let me say that first. The Al Horford take I agree with. Towns is a player who's such a great 3-point shooter that you can actually get away with a big body center to put at the 5 and properly space out the floor to give you like some proper rim protection and defensive effort, while Towns doesn't have to be all of that because he's just not that player. He's never really been that player. He's always been a step slower to react and properly help on defense. He's just never been that guy. Um, so I don't I say that to say that I think there's probably more things that they can do to the roster that best suits Towns before really going out of their way to try to like trade him because the team is built in a manner that actually still benefits them to have a 20 to 25 point scorer down low who can also space out the floor that gives the proper driving lanes to
Yeah.
Edwards. That's the thing that also like we got to be
But
cognizant of.
Lo, do you feel like tonight like kind of showed the value of having role players that are like to add value on both sides of the ball? Because I know a lot of niggas harp on how like the two-way shit is overrated or whatever. But if Jared Vanderbilt had any other offensive skill other than offensive rebounding, like it would have made the game easier on a lot of people because of what he provides on defense. He would have been able, like he was unplayable in this game because
Yeah,
they were
because
or
they
not
were
teams
basically just
they were
leaving
just
him.
fucking ignoring him. Yeah,
Yeah, they were leaving him. Yeah, I agree, and I mean I don't want to shift it to the Lakers, but I mean that was a problem with the Lakers that they had just way too many one-way players. Same thing with like the Hornets as well. Even though I watch a lot of the Hornets game and they're exciting to watch. At the end of the day, you need players. The more players who can give you more impact on both sides of the floor, the better. And even if you are heavily leaning on one side of the floor, the more aspects even on that side of the floor is better. So as much as Vanderbilt, like you said, may help them defensively and possibly on the boards as well, because he did do a good job at that. So I give him credit for that. Yeah, like that's another reason why it's going to be. I just don't know what it looks like against a fucking bro, a fucking Memphis team with Adams and Jaren Jackson Jr. down low, and I can just not really give a fuck about Vanderbilt, bro. That's gonna be. That's gonna be tough. Like I don't know how the fuck they about to like figure that
Yeah,
shit out.
there's a
Does
balance to these
does
kind of
trading
things.
Cat give you the pieces you think that
They
helps?
don't need a trade Cat though.
I don't
Like
think they need to
Yeah,
trade
I
Cat.
I
that's
disagree
I
with
didn't
the
even
trade
trade
I
Cat.
cat
know,
part.
I know, he might be a
no
little
trade Cat
trolling,
after
but
one
I don't
game.
think they need to trade Cat.
I
No,
think
not after
today's
one game.
What would
After
you
him
get for Cat
repeatedly like
even?
leading in
bro.
foul outs
No
and
drop
stuff
take.
and playing sloppy
he would.
repetitively.
Come on now.
For
I
one,
think
I hate the what would you get for Cat even trade. I mean, what would you get for Cat talk? Because none of us work in the NBA, and outside of niggas hitting Trade Finder on 2K, none of us know how trades work. Because every time niggas have trade talks, the NBA literally does the exact opposite of what niggas sit up for hours talking about in the Twitter space, saying what's logical and what makes sense. And I put this in Trade Finder, and I tried this on trade whatever, and it worked. It never works out like that. Niggas end up trading niggas for a bag of chips and 2 second round picks. So I don't know what you get for Cat. I don't know what the market for Cat looks like because I don't work in the NBA. But what I can tell you is they can get something for Cat. There's a team out there. There are plenty of teams out there that'll be
what
interested in Cat. And when you have a guy like Nas Reed who gives you that defensive capabilities and still can stretch the floor, obviously not as good as Cat. Cat's literally the best 3-point shooting big we've seen. I'm not saying that, but he still has those capabilities. Those skills can still develop, and you're paying him significantly less. You can dead ass load your team up in different areas to be a deeper team, and again, play through AE. That would be
I
my mindset while I'm saying trade Cat.
I would say like my thing is about this entire game. Watching it, if like I think they said it on Inside the NBA, they're playing with house money because they're the 7th seed. Like they're not expected to do shit this year. Cat was legit horrible today, and back in that Rocket series, like I think like a few years back, he was bad in that series too. So him playing like dog shit today and then getting carried by Anthony Edwards and D'Lo. Shout out to D'Lo. I ain't gonna lie, bro has matured crazy. Like bro sounded like a vet when he was talking to whoever it was, but he controlled that game as a PG. My thing is with them playing with house money, you kind of what you can gain from this. Like, I don't want to go too crazy, right? Because it's only one game and they have another game to play. But in that next game, Karl-Anthony Towns has to play like the all-star that he was talking like he is this season. So, like, if he doesn't play good, right, and let's say the team doesn't, perform well, let's say Anthony Edwards plays, has another exceptional game. I think what the Timberwolves would now know is like, you know what? Cat is a great player, but we also know that Anthony Edwards, when it's time for us to go get those dubs and for the go-to guy, Anthony Edwards is that guy. Like we're now confirming roles now. Like we know who 1A is, who 1B is, and who number 2 is. So that's my thing on Cat. I mean, it's
You're
really
right.
trash. Like the game for him is just like he just looks. He played dumb today, to be honest
He
with you. Like a
did.
lot of the
That's what
fouls,
pisses me off. Because you're
he
so
didn't have to.
right.
He didn't. He should have like as a he hasn't played in postseason basketball like that. I get it, but like you gotta be smarter, especially with the fouls that you were getting. And
Exactly.
that
Because
it was
he's so talented. You guys are right. He's a great freaking player. If he played average for the first 3 quarters
they would
and then
have
had
blown
like
him out.
two,
They
two,
would have
three
blown him out.
fouls,
Yes.
yes, and then
But
goes into that fourth and then becomes an assassin for like 10 minutes and doesn't
Cause
have
he
to
yeah,
make
was
every
he
shot,
was
but just
rounding
does
back into
well.
like a
yeah.
solid. He
You're
was rounding
fine.
back into like a solid second half, but like fouls kind of killed
It's
it.
it's just
Second half.
it's just dumb fouls, and I think that like again, the entire team stepped up. Anthony Edwards, I ain't gonna lie, like he's here. Like this was basically like for everyone who's been in these spaces, y'all probably follow basketball deeply. You look at the stats and all that stuff. But a lot of people who have not seen Anthony Edwards are like, bro, who is this 6'7" dark skinned guy doing all like, bro, like he's him. Like he's legit showing out. That's good to see. But I ain't gonna lie, that neck like that series against Memphis, um, he's Cat's gotta at least be better because man, you can't do what you did tonight, bro. Like it's low key embarrassing to be honest with you, bro. Like
Yeah, yo, to
and
be
Pat Bev going crazy on the stands and shit. Like I ain't gonna lie, Pat Bev, he's a I said this in one of my chats. He's a culture changer. As much as we may not find him, whatever how you feel about him, wherever he goes, yeah, the atmosphere changes, and you gotta respect it.
Yeah, yeah.
yo,
No,
there,
that's
Yo,
true.
why
That's
the
true.
fuck is Russ fans of all niggas talking about how dumb Cat played? I hate niggas, man. I really hate niggas. It's so
Bro,
crazy, bro.
hey, misery loves company.
On
that shit
God.
is corny. They
Hey, look,
only
I'm not
do
gonna
it.
lie.
What
They
you
Not
should
gonna
be
lie.
mean? I'm
moving
not
on
talking about
accident.
you, Wes. I'm talking about fucking Joy. She
Hey,
been
bro.
hating on that nigga all day.
Hey man, listen. We tolerate no joy slander in these spaces. All right, man.
Face ass.
We
Yeah,
You're
tolerate
you're
no
you're the
nasty.
we
bigger
You're
troll.
tolerate
literally
Listen,
no
nasty.
you're the
Nah.
joy
bigger troll.
slander.
Listen,
I won't stand for it. All right, me myself, Damo, I won't stand for any joy
You're
slander. All right,
nasty.
that woman did nothing to you, Eli. Stop being an emotional teenager. All right, bro. Leave Joy alone.
I
You're
want to I want to say
nasty.
this too. I want to say that because y'all niggas trolling. I want to say this like if you another reason why I wouldn't like jump the gun with Towns is because they have they're gonna have the cap flexibility and like not this upcoming offseason, the next one to like really make some moves to make the team as good as it needs to be, while also being able to still retain D'Lo, Towns, and Edwards, and even Malik Beasley and Vanderbilt, McDaniels. Like they actually have they put themselves in a situation to where in 2 more years, they're going to go into the offseason with D'Lo coming off the books, Pat Bev's 13 million coming off the books, and then being able to bring them back with bird rights, or even if this is a mid-level exception with Pat Bev if they want to go on that route, and then fortifying their front court with a bit more defensive presence. I think that the team is in a situation to where they can build in the right direction, and as much as even if Towns doesn't live up to the expectations or being quote unquote that guy that we kind of expect him to be, even if he doesn't reach that level, I mean his value on the court is just it's kind of hard to explain, but having a big who can space out the floor, who is legitimately like forget shooting bigs. He's just one of the best 3-point shooters in the NBA. So like having someone like that on the floor spacing out at the 5, opening up driving lanes and passing lanes for everybody else, even if he takes a step back and Edwards is the one who's a front, who's leading this team moving forward, it's still just it's just hard to like identify. It's hard to like put into perspective how valuable Towns is going to end up being on this team, because Edwards is going to need somebody who's going to be able to space out the floor for him, so you can really maximize what he can do when he's attacking the basket.
What I want to say is usually in these Timberwolves games, Ant is the one that takes over the fourth quarter. So I don't know who said it, but someone said like Cat could be like a 1A or 1 be in the Grizzlies series. I think that Ant is our playoff performer. Ant is going to be our fourth quarter player, and Cat is going to have to take like a back seat. So I agree with some of you guys' takes, but I don't think you should trade Cat.
Yeah, I don't think they're literally put in a situation to where it's like everything would make sense for them in 2 years, and as soon as you can give all three of them really, but everybody else in the court as well, the more reps you can just give them in playoff moments, the better. Because I think in 2 years is when things are really going to start piecing together and making a lot of sense to why this team could make a run and be very special. And I'm trust me when I say I'm not overreacting to like like a 1 game sample size. I like Sage said earlier, if you've been watching Edwards in the past year and a half now, you've kind of seen like this potential, the ceiling of him being this caliber of player. And I don't even think he's anywhere near close to a ceiling. If you've seen D'Lo when he was back in Brooklyn, the thing that really just stopped him from being this type of player really has just been injury since he's been in Minnesota. He's been inconsistent a bit even when he's on the floor, but the rhythm is starting to be gained. And then you add all the other pieces that they have, bro. Like it's looking like this team could be something special just because they have the financial flexibility as well as a youth and age on their side. The only player that they're relying on that it may be digressing sometime soon is Pat Bev. But everybody else is like 25, 26 at the most. Like everybody else is like under that. So yeah, they definitely can put themselves in a situation to where it just makes sense while still keeping Towns.
Yeah, and I knew before the game even started that they were gonna guard Cat like that, and Cat was gonna have a horrible game because if you watch the other Clipper games, Cat like he had like picked up two quick fouls in the first quarter. He went over something, and they played him off the court. So I just want to say that Ty Lue is probably the best coach in the NBA because he's the only one that I've ever seen stop Cat. And also the first three quarters are usually how Cats dominate, and then the fourth quarter is when Ant dominates. So I think that's like shows how Ant is gonna show up in the playoffs, and he's gonna like show out like John Morant.
Before we go to Boomin, I want to be clear though. I understand what you're saying, but Towns is going to have to figure it out. Like, I'm not trying to absolve Cat from ever figuring it out. Like, he gonna have to figure it out. And it's not like me just being hard on Towns because like it would just be best beneficial if he figures it out. And the reason why I was saying before about the reps is that Giannis, it took him getting into the playoffs and losing routinely with the different defensive schemes that teams are throwing at him before he actually figured it out. Same thing with Embiid, where they're just doubling him and he has to like figure out best ways to find the man. And I think that's going to be a problem even for him this postseason run again because they have to figure out a way to best utilize him and Thibault on the court at the same time. So Towns is it's a testament to how great he is, but at the same time, that shit is not going to change. It's just not going to change. They're going to force the ball out of his hand. They're going to double him. And I know you're saying, what's my man? Ty Lue did a great job, but that I think that's just going to be something that we're going to see again, even in the Memphis Grizzlies series. Boomin, you had your hand up.
Yeah, what's up, Low? What's up, Domo? But
What up,
yeah,
youngin?
you can
You good?
right there though. Like,
What's good, bro?
you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm just trolling. You got it.
No, but you just kind of hit it there at the end. I mean, yeah, Ty Lue deserves some credit, even though they lost to his struggling play tonight because, they did throw a double at him a lot, and he was just really getting frustrated. They were attacking him defensively, and, that's what you're supposed to do as a coach and everything like that. And in terms of him being traded, it doesn't make no sense right now. I don't know who's saying that. I don't know why you would say that. This man a month ago dropped 60. And obviously he's one of the best shooters in the league. And when it comes up to this next series,
Sadiq Bey dropped 50.
yeah, huh?
Sadiq Bey dropped 50.
He did drop 50, but he didn't drop 60 though.
Didn't everybody drop 40 last night in the NBA?
Oh my
Didn't
god.
Robert Covington go 11
Hey,
for
Come
him?
on,
Jalen
Damo.
Green,
What are we
44.
doing?
Well,
No. Because this because
Come on,
what are we bringing
Dom.
up? Cat dropping 60 is why he
Karl-Anthony
shouldn't get
Towns better than
traded?
Sadiq Bey. What? I don't
That has
understand
nothing
why
to do.
people
That has
saying
nothing to
trade
do.
Karl-Anthony
let
Towns because that
All
makes
right. Look. See, and I ain't want to do this, but I'm not about to battle for mics with niggas. One, no one is saying Sadiq Bey is better than Cat, but if your argument for who ever said trade Cat is crazy, bro? He just dropped 60 points, nigga. Sadiq Bey dropped 50. That doesn't prevent him from getting traded. That's my point. Vogue, stay down there, nigga, stay muted. I'm saying trade Cat
Exactly.
because one, you got Cat with the pretense of him being your franchise guy and your best player. You're paying him like that guy. Yes, I understand you can keep him, let him be your second option, and AE be the one. But what I'm saying is because of the lack of defensive ability from Cat, because of the type of player that Cat is, I feel like personally you will be better in the long run going all in on AE, using that cap that you're hogging up from Cat's contract to make your team deeper or put you in a situation to potentially bring other guys in that can make your team, I'm not gonna say better, but be better for AE, or hell, might even make your team better because who knows? AE might act. I think AE's him. I think AE is an it factor, so I think AE can get you further than Cat ever did as a number one. So that's what I'm saying. Trade Cat. It's for the better of the team. Obviously, Cat's a great player, but Cat's a loser.
You know what, Dom? You know what, Dom? I go as
Are you
far as to
starting
say,
Nas Reed?
no, I'd go as far as to say, real talk, Dom, that what you're saying even logically makes sense when you look at guys like, as you mentioned, Nas Reed. I know Vanderbilt offensively is but hey, even him defensively, there's a lot of wins with Cat not being on the floor. I'll even admit that. But the issue is, truthfully, it's the wrong time to have that conversation in the sense of, as Lowe mentioned earlier, contracts, but even just theoretically, D'Lo's, I mean, not D'Lo, I'm sorry, AE's on his, second season? So you have time for him to just simply get better before you even have to make such a drastic move. To me personally, let alone all the other young guys on the roster. Pat Bev, obviously, you can flourish out, and truthfully, it's gonna sound cringe. You can use Pat Bev to see maybe he can guide Cat in the right direction, and now you got somebody that ain't what we're saying about him tonight.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy, Sage? I'm a Dolphin fan, which means every season, 2 times a year, I gotta face Bill Belichick and watch Bill Belichick play my team. And you
That's
know
fair.
what mantra Bill Belichick has in New England?
You get
Rather
too
be
early for a
1
year
year
too late. Don't
early
tell
than a
me
year
something
too
I don't
late.
know.
And you know what's crazy? No, not even that. And you know what's crazy? When it comes to Cat, yes, right now might not be that time to have that conversation. But Sage, if I find myself on spaces because these niggas get swept and Cat play like a fucking goose egg in every fucking 4 games they got swept in, and now we have that conversation in like 2 months, I'm gonna be mad because
I think year 3
again,
wouldn't
I'd
be
rather
too
be a
early though.
little early than a little
I
late.
mean, late.
What
Man,
you
if
say?
LeBron James drops a goose egg and gets swept, then they're gonna say trade LeBron James and not this.
They ain't,
I
I don't know
wouldn't
why.
LeBron ain't dropping no goose
listen.
egg.
I wouldn't understand a person with the Karl-Anthony Towns Avi to understand what I'm
Yeah,
talking
I'm about
about.
to say,
Like,
I wouldn't
and
understand
since
you.
what,
I
hey
know you
Dom,
wouldn't
get this
understand you.
though.
what's
He
Since
just
you
said
wanted
he's
to play
fine
that
with.
route,
He just
hold on,
said
y'all,
he's
because
fine with Ant being the
hold on, my
guy.
boy. I'm sorry, I hate that. Dom, this is a power you shouldn't have gave me. Not gonna lie, because you want to play that route, bro. People are calling for LeBron to get traded right now. Do you know that? Like in all actuality, if the Lakers weren't the Lakers, y'all do know that this 39-year-old going on 40-year-old superstar would be on the block. It's just a thing.
Oh, and I'm people. Hello, I'm people. I think we should trade LeBron, especially if we
I
can't
It's
get
think
rid
if
just
of
a thing.
if
So
Westbrook.
I ain't gonna
LeBron was
really
a
Definitely
bring
trade
that up.
LeBron.
LeBron,
Hey,
I think if it's LeBron was a
That's
LeBron, none
funny
of
as
the
shit.
Lakers want the Lakers.
Hey, yo, but let me finish on that thing. I mean, Domo, like, if we're talking about his ceiling, I don't see his ceiling being very high on defense, right? And that's why, like, there was a space this morning, and people were saying trade AD for Karl-Anthony Towns. Now, I don't know if they do that. I don't know if both parties like that, but
I say
you know,
no. I would say no. Trust me. I
I'm
would
gonna tell you
say
That
what
no.
it
would be
is, bro.
terrible.
Smoking.
Hell no.
Look, yeah, I don't know, bro. Like, so I think you consider it after we see AE in a couple more years from now and just see what he's projecting onto and see, is at that point, is Karl-Anthony Towns getting better? Because honestly, I don't know if he'll get much better than he was this season, just personally.
I don't think it's about before the next person go. I don't think it's necessarily about him getting better. I just think it's about putting the proper personnel around him. Because sure, I don't think that he gets that much better, but if you have the proper defensive pieces around him, he doesn't look as bad defensively than what he normally would. I mean, I think that's the bigger premise around it. Not saying that you're like disagreeing with me, but I'm saying like even if this is his ceiling, I just think that the makeup of the team can be slightly better with the proper personnel. Now, even if we just look, I mean, hell, even Adams will be available
Yeah.
in a couple like year or two. So I think like there's clearly like a roadmap of a quality big that you can put out there alongside Towns, where it just kind of just pieces itself together to where the team looks slightly better than what they are. But I'm just huge on having a player who can shoot 40% from three, create his own shot, possibly take advantages of mismatches, especially when you get to the point where Edwards and D'Lo look like better scoring threats, just much more thorough scoring threats as the years progress. So yeah, I'm huge on the concept just having somebody who can take advantage or create mismatches, and Towns has the ability to do so. They just need to put a big out there who's not so inept offensively that it would justify him being out there. Vanderbilt, he's just not him. He's not that guy. So
All I would,
that's the point
all
about
I
it.
would say is, man, anybody that's doubting this whole, anybody that thinks it's crazy or it's idiotic or it's ridiculous to trade Cat, do me one thing. Look at the jumbotron. Look at that face. That's the face of a loser. You trade losers in the NBA. That's all I'm saying. In the NBA, the one thing you do for your franchise if you're trying to win is trade losers. That is the face.
Dumb is ruthless.
If you looked up loser in
Dumb
the
is
dictionary,
ruthless.
this picture will pop up. He's a loser.
What? Cat was
Yeah.
getting doubled the whole game. I mean,
Remember,
today was a
Yeah,
battle of the
nah,
coaches, I
we're
feel
not
like.
doing that.
What does that have to wait? What does him being double have to do with that face and him being a loser? Tell me.
I mean, when you're getting triple team once you touch the
You're
ball, I
digging
mean,
your
and
own
when he
grave with
passed
that
it out, I
argument.
mean,
I ain't gonna
I
lie.
feel like today
Again,
was the
Come
battle of the
on,
Bro,
coaches.
you're
I'm
bro.
digging
not
your
gonna
own
lie.
He
grave with that
wasn't being
argument.
triple.
it's
That's
a
a dumb
very it's a
argument, bro.
very simple
Consistent.
argument,
Like,
look,
come
bro.
on.
He was
That's a
mad that
dumb argument, bro.
he was mad he fouled out, bro.
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
about to
let
say
me
that.
let
Hey,
me
hey,
also
can I
say
say
this. Let
something?
me
That's
say this
all you
about
gotta
Cat.
I
say,
mean,
Let
bro.
me
I'm
say
not
this
saying
about
Cat was
Cat.
playing bad
Because if
today.
you
I
watch
mean,
the
I'm not saying
Houston
he
he
wasn't
Rockets
playing
was
good
playing
series,
today.
bad.
I'm just
He
saying.
was playing
Bro,
bad.
you
He was
don't
look,
have to
off.
make an argument about his play,
Vague. If
bro.
you watch the
Trade
Houston
Cat? Are
Rockets
That's
you
not how
series,
you.
fucking
Vague,
serious?
Vague. Listen. His point is, with as good as Anthony Edwards is projecting to be, when you have like a player like that who really looks like a diamond, like truly in the rough, like he's truly going to be a superstar. Keeping a Cat, especially with D'Angelo Russell, because none of those players really defend. Like I think Ant will be a decent defender, given
Ant
some
is a
years.
decent defender.
But
Like, he is a good defender.
right, but I think he'll
He's
be
not a good defender.
decent. He's
Ant
already
is a
decent.
good defender.
Good
Cat's a
He's
good.
defender is
decent,
sucking
bro. He's
dick.
decent.
He's
He's
good
not a
on
good
He's
he's good
not
defender.
on ball.
vague. Yeah, I
Cat's an
understand it's your
excellent
team,
defender.
but come on. So look, in a few years, I think he'll be, you know, a plus level defender. But when you go with what's around him, and if you look at Cat and how he performed in that Houston Rockets series, my biggest issue with Cat is he never takes advantage of mismatches. You can get away with putting a smaller player on Cat at all times, and that's problematic. That's
Yeah.
huge. That's really
Because he's
problematic
soft.
for somebody who's going to be
Bro,
the 1A player on your team. Like, and I think you really need to make. I mean, it's not impossible for them to coexist, but you got to really start making a change for Anthony Edwards to be the 1A on that team and to run things through Ant, in my opinion,
yeah, and
because I
for the
really
people
believe in
that
him.
said Cat like cannot get better, I feel like if he just learns the way how to like operate, how a double team comes and how you like so called like
How long
find
has
open
It's
how
been
looks.
like 6 years.
Hey, AD,
Yeah, that's what I
I
was gonna
mean,
say.
no,
not
7 years.
really. I
Davis
feel
still shows
like once
that.
you Cat wasn't good for 6 years. I feel like he just start like
Huh?
these past couple years,
but
he just
but
start getting
All
listen
right,
good.
That's
Tatum.
not true.
He's saying
That's
What?
anything
not
but
And
true.
then
Tatum.
once they
Yo,
start
you
getting
He's
gotta
good,
too
stop
I
fanned
speaking,
just feel
bro.
out.
like he
You
needs
gotta
to
stop
find a
speaking.
certain
He
way
too
how to
fanned
better.
out.
You know?
Like, Vo, I
That's
fuck
a
with you,
that's
bro.
that's just a lie,
You a
bro.
cat fan, but you
Nah,
gotta
bro,
shut
All
the
right,
stop
fuck
can I
it.
say
up, bro.
something?
You gotta
Can I say
mute your
something?
mic, bro.
Let me, Damo, let me ask you something. All right. Do you think any free agent or any player at all wants to come to Minnesota?
I
Yeah,
think
everybody.
to play with Anthony Edwards potentially, yes. As of right now, no. I'm not gonna say right now. Well, actually, I don't know. After this
I'm about to
performance,
say
it
I
depends on
disagree.
what they after what they do in the playoffs. After this performance right here show they have
Yeah.
heart. It's not the
Think
same loser mentality Timberwolves, but in the playoffs, if at the very least AE and the role players play good, that will attract free agents.
Exactly.
think think of
I
it
feel
like this.
like after this season, D'Angelo Russell's trade value would go really high, and I actually see the Timberwolves actually trading D'Angelo Russell.
No.
Why? Y'all
I
niggas
actually
okay,
see
y'all
that.
know
I
what's
don't know
up.
what are the Timberwolves hoping to get back in exchange for Karl-Anthony
Solid big,
Towns.
solid
Cat and
four. I
D'Lo are
mean,
best friends, man. You can't.
anybody but Vanderbilt. I mean, I love Vanderbilt, but not gonna lie, like
We
But
don't
going with
know
the
yet.
Yeah,
but
trade.
going
he's an
exactly what
offensive
We
you just
won't
said.
liability. You
know.
know.
But
We really
going
won't
with
know
what you
until
just
this series is like this is my thing about the entire series.
Yeah, I
Like
think we should
yeah,
probably
we
just
won't
we
end
won't
it
know
with
until like legit they could go into the Memphis series and let's say everything
because
just
that nigga
clicks and they
plays good
beat them.
against
Nah, I
Memphis.
feel
None
like
of
we're
these
beating
problems
Memphis
are
in 5
happening.
Are they
respectfully.
Okay,
trading or keeping
okay,
Cat?
okay.
No, bro.
Nah,
Let's
I'm
slow
not
that
lying.
down.
Yo, bro.
Let's slow that
Somebody
Nah,
down.
I'm
got to
not
Let's
keep
slow.
lying.
the
No,
I'm,
guy out
we're
of
you
here,
beating
can
bro.
bring me
Memphis in
down
This
after
is
5.
you. You
wild,
bring me down.
bro.
I gotta go to bed soon. But my thing is this: like the entire series with Cat. Cat today looks soft, and this is not something that we haven't
Here
seen
you go with the
before.
soft shit, bro.
All the time he looks soft.
I'm not gonna